my name. And you know what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's a sucker.
Puff said he's gonna walk up on 50 Cent and punch him in the face.
Yeah, he said, I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
Tell Curtis I ain't done yet. That wild message landed in 50 Cent's inbox just hours after Diddy beat his RICO case. And guess what? Insiders claim it didn't come from a lawyer. It came straight from Diddy himself. By now, you've probably heard Diddy walked away not guilty on the biggest charge that could have locked him up for life. But right after that, 50 Cent went viral when a shady burner account slid into his messages with that threatening note. It didn't take long for fans to start connecting the dots. Let's not forget, 50's been trolling Diddy for years. He's constantly clowning him online, like that time he posted a pic saying, "You know there ain't no seat on that bike," basically mocking Diddy's image. And when he's not throwing shade on Instagram, 50's dragging him in interviews too, even calling him fluffy. Remember when he said, "I explained why I didn't hang out with him, fluffy stuff going on, not my scene"? But this right here, this feels personal. Word on the street is that Diddy's salty because of that upcoming documentary 50's Cooking Up, and it's all about Diddy. The doc is still deep in production, and 50's been teasing that he's got way more to expose than what came out in court. So now everybody's wondering, what exactly is 50 sitting on? Is that why Diddy's sending threats from burner accounts? If you've been following that courtroom drama, you already know. Some shady stuff went down behind the scenes. Like, why did the government suddenly swap out the original prosecutor for Maureen Comey, the same woman tied to the alleged Epstein cover-up? That move raised eyebrows fast. And then there's Diddy's right-hand woman, Christina Coram, named by multiple witnesses as a co-conspirator. Yet the feds straight up ignored it. Now she's vanished, and nobody has a clue where she went. But it doesn't stop there. The mainstream media kept so much under wraps. Now, 50 Cent is out here saying he's gonna bring it all to light. And with Diddy possibly walking away clean, it's obvious he's doing whatever it takes to keep those secrets buried. That warning he sent to 50, it wasn't just some petty jab. That was a message loud and clear. He's ready to go any length to protect himself. What's even scarier is what Diddy might try next. He could go after 50's business empire, wreck his partnerships, or worse. Because remember, Capricorn Clark already dropped a serious bombshell in her statement. She used to be Diddy's assistant and a marketing manager for Sean John, and she said Diddy once talked about getting rid of 50. According to her, there was a press event at MTV where 50 and Diddy were both present, and they even shared the same manager back then, Chris Lighty. Capricorn said she, Chris, and Diddy stepped into an elevator, and that's when things got tense. Diddy was clearly heated about 50, and from how she tells it, something dark was brewing behind closed doors. And here's where it gets real twisted. Diddy allegedly said, "I don't like the back and forth. I like guns." Yeah, he really said that. Now let's break down that shady burner message, because this wasn't just some stay in your lane type warning, it was way more sinister. The burner account that posted "Tell Curtis I ain't done yet" had been silent for months. Then suddenly, just hours after Diddy's verdict dropped, boom, it reactivates to drop that one creepy line. Suspicious much? Sources close to 50 are saying this ain't even the first time he's been threatened. And 50? He's not staying quiet. He already reacted publicly back in May when he first heard rumors that Diddy was allegedly plotting to take him out. That same month, Diddy's former assistant Capricorn Clark dropped a bomb in court. She claimed she overheard Diddy at an MTV event saying he didn't like nonsense in people, but did like guns. Capricorn said Diddy was beefing with 50 that day, and straight up told their manager Chris Lighty he was carrying a gun and had a problem with 50 Cent. That's not just tension, that's dangerous talk. So how did 50 respond? In classic 50 Cent style, he made it a joke. But the message underneath? Dead serious. He posted an AI pic of himself looking terrified with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight." LOL classic 50 sarcasm, but the tension? Still very real. But that was back when everyone thought Diddy was headed for life behind bars. Now, it's a whole different story. The jury just found him not guilty on 3 out of 5 charges, including that heavy RICO conspiracy. The big one. NBC News reported that Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts: transportation for prostitution involving Cassie and another woman referred to as Jane. So what's the outcome now? Could he actually dodge serious time? And if he's really walking free, is that why he suddenly feels bold enough to come for 50? Diddy and his crew were acting like he was gonna walk free the same day the verdict dropped. But nope, the judge shut that down quick. According to News Nation, Judge Aaron Subramanian denied Diddy bail, saying he's way too dangerous to be out on the streets. So now, Diddy's locked up until his sentencing, which is set for October 3rd. As for how long he could be in there, People magazine says the 2 charges he was convicted of carry up to 20 years total. That's 10 years for each. But knowing how these things go, his legal team is already gearing up to file appeals for both the conviction and whatever sentence he gets. So we'll have to wait and see what really happens, if he even ends up doing time at all. But here's the crazy part. Diddy hasn't even been sentenced yet, and he's already out here threatening revenge like he's certain he's walking free. And the first person on his hit list? Of course, it's 50 Cent. Now yeah, 50's been roasting Diddy nonstop ever since Cassie dropped her lawsuit almost 2 years ago. But this beef runs way deeper. 50 was throwing shots long before the legal drama even started. Their feud goes all the way back to the early 2000s, and 50 was one of the first people to publicly throw shade at Diddy's image and behavior. He didn't just clown him on social media. He exposed what might have really started their beef. Flashback to 8 years ago. 50 was on The Breakfast Club talking about it. When asked about constantly calling Puff gay, 50 cleared it up. He said, "I don't call him gay. Let me read this. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you'll all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy." That quote was pure 50. Wild, sarcastic, and clearly meant to stir the pot. And ever since then, the tension between them has only gotten messier. Report to the nearest rainbow, then thieve. In theater, James. That line might sound random, but it's part of the reason things between 50 Cent and Diddy hit a whole new level of uncomfortable. 50's told the story before. At Chris Lighty's wedding, Diddy allegedly said something that caught him way off guard. "He told me he'd take me shopping," 50 said. "I looked at him like, what did you just say? Let me move before I do something like you gonna make me mess up the wedding." To anyone else, that might have sounded like a friendly gesture, but to 50? Nah, he took it as something else entirely. "That's not how dudes talk," he said. "That's still something a guy says to a girl he's been seeing for a minute." And 50's been clowning Diddy for years over moments like that, always hinting at fluffy stuff and telling people, "Don't act like it's just me. Y'all see it too." But here's the thing. Those jokes, they might be exactly why Diddy allegedly wants to silence 50 now. He's been poking the bear for years. But this time, the stakes are way higher. And it's all tied to 50 Cent's upcoming documentary, Diddy Do It. Why? Because 50 just revealed he's switching things up. He told Variety that the doc is no longer just about wild headlines or party gossip. It's about digging way deeper into the people behind Diddy. He's calling it a complex narrative spanning decades. And that's not just talk. That means real names, real dirt, and real consequences. At first, Diddy Do It was mostly focused on Diddy's wild side, those infamous freak-off parties and celeb chaos. But now that Diddy beat the RICO charge, the whole project is taking a darker, way more dangerous turn, and it's already getting spooky. A leaked clip that's supposedly from the doc shows a masked party at Diddy's mansion, with deer antlers, weird rituals, and straight-up eyes-wide-shut vibes. This ain't just entertainment anymore. 50's pulling back the curtain on something way more twisted than people expected. Man, Diddy always wants to party. Somebody needs to tell him no. That's the energy floating around right now, and it's loud. All these big-name celebs with shady pasts are catching heat in 2024, and it's up for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, if you've been wild in behind the scenes, your time's coming. And if that leaked footage is real, then 50 Cent's documentary is about to expose a way darker side of Diddy's story, one that most people never even imagined. But wait, it gets even more twisted. Sources close to 50's team say he's now digging into the parts that the trial completely ignored. And he's ready to tackle the biggest elephant in the room, those wild claims that Diddy was actually working as a government asset. Yeah, that kind of setup. And that maybe the entire trial was just a smokescreen to keep people distracted. Remember when Kanye West straight up called Diddy a Fed? It sounded outrageous at the time. But now 50 might actually have something to back that theory up. Kanye said it loud. All you fake hard dudes. You can't shoot nobody anyway. You did a deal. You fed. That's why you got the talk. 'Cause you did a deal. And according to whispers from the 50s team, he's not brushing that off. He's putting it under the spotlight. So how does 50 plan to prove all this? First up, he's shining a major light on Christina Coram, Diddy's mysterious right-hand woman. Some are now saying she played a role for Diddy similar to what Ghislaine Maxwell did for Jeffrey Epstein. Think about that for a second. Last year when Diddy got arrested, the media floated Christina as the key to the prosecution. She was in Diddy's inner circle for years, pulling strings behind the scenes and staying just out of the spotlight. Now there's new speculation that she might be the missing link in this entire story, the woman at the heart of Diddy's empire, and possibly the one holding the darkest secrets of all. Christina Coram might be the one person who holds the real key to bringing Diddy down. She's been deep in his empire for years. And here she is, spotted with Diddy in Florida last November, right after he settled with his ex, Cassie Ventura. Diddy even posted a photo of her on Facebook with the caption, "Christina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and business running. She's my right hand." But that same photo later came back to haunt them. Music producer Rodney Jones used it in his lawsuit, calling Christina the Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy's Jeffrey Epstein. She was mentioned 64 times in that suit. 64 times. Yet somehow, when it came time for the big trial, her name barely even came up. Cassie did bring her up during testimony, saying Christina basically tracked her every move for Diddy. "I talked to KK about a lot," Cassie testified. "She knew a lot about my personal things." According to her, Christina was in constant contact, from daily schedules to updates on Diddy's mood and how to handle him that day. That ain't just an assistant, that's someone deeply involved. And then there's another woman, known only as Jane, who dropped even more receipts. She showed the court a text from Christina, where Christina encouraged her to fly with illegal substances. Her words? "It's fine. I do it all the time. That's not casual. That's criminal." So now the big question, why wasn't Christina called to testify? CNN reported that early on, prosecutors did refer to her as one of Diddy's co-conspirators. But then, nothing. Radio silence. They completely stopped bringing her up. And that's sketchy. Because if she really was a key player, putting her on the stand would have strengthened the whole racketeering case. This whole situation smells off. And that's exactly why 50 Cent wants to put the spotlight on Christina in his doc. Fans are already buzzing that she might be the real reason prosecutors fumbled the bag. Some folks even believe the whole trial was just smoke and mirrors to protect bigger names. One user on X summed it up. "People think the Diddy saga is over, but it's not. And honestly, they might be right. This was deep state involvement to cover it all up." That's what people are saying online, and they're not backing down. One user pointed the finger directly at Christina Coram, asking why KK never took the stand during Diddy's trial. And their answer? Because a certain Comey was involved. And yeah, there's more to this than meets the eye. So who's this Comey they're talking about? That would be Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor who suddenly joined the case after Damian Williams, the original prosecutor, abruptly resigned on November 25, 2024, just weeks after Diddy's arrest. That timing? Way too sketchy. Williams had been leading the charge from day one, so why step away right before things went to court? And Maureen Comey? That name rings bells. She's the same Comey tied to the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trials. So now people are asking the hard questions. Was this whole thing part of a bigger operation? Was Diddy's trial controlled behind the scenes to protect more powerful players? Rumors are swirling that parts of the US government may have intentionally looked the other way, or even helped cover things up. Why? Because word on the street is that Diddy's blackmail archive allegedly includes dirt on high-level officials, media tycoons, and corporate execs. And get this, when the feds raided Diddy's mansions, they supposedly took a stash of tapes. But since then, crickets. Nobody knows who or what was on those recordings. If any of this is true, then Diddy wasn't just doing dirt for himself. He may have been a middleman, just like Epstein. The kind of guy who sets up the scene, collects the footage, and holds it over people's heads for power and leverage, protected, plugged in, and possibly running a covert op for folks way higher up the food chain. Even former U.S. Attorney Brett Tolman hinted at it. He said Diddy and Epstein might have been running nearly identical blackmail setups. And yeah, he wouldn't be surprised if intelligence agencies like the CIA or FBI were involved. There's always been whispers, he said. I wouldn't doubt there were operations going on for decades. You go back to Epstein, and I was flabbergasted at the deal he got. The only reason for that kind of deal would be if something way bigger was in play. This might be way beyond Diddy, and now it's all starting to unravel. The only way a deal like that ever goes down is if there's major dirt on very powerful people. We're talking high-level targets, folks with serious pull. So, if 50 Cent is really diving deep into all this for his documentary, then yeah, it makes total sense why the threats are already flying in. This story isn't just about Diddy anymore. It runs way deeper than that. And while fans are out here begging 50 to watch his back, he's not folding. After his Instagram comments blew up with people warning that Diddy's gonna come for him, 50 clapped back hard. He went right back to trolling, called Diddy gay Teflon Don, and told the haters, "Get the F off my page talking like I'm supposed to be scared of him. You already know how 50 moves. He's not backing down for anybody." But here's the real twist. The people 50's exposing? They don't just play dirty, they own the whole game. And worst part? They don't forget. Ever. So what happens next? Is 50 really ready to pull the curtain back on the darkest corners of the industry? We'll find out soon because this documentary is heating up quick. If you're hooked, make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Stay locked in, and we'll catch you on the next one.